Eating disorders can affect both men and women and even children and teenagers. Eating disorders are serious illnesses that can be life-threatening, and they do affect more than 30 million people across the nation. Dr. Snellgrove from Eastern Shore Weight Loss joins us this morning with more information on this topic that you think everyone should be aware of. So first, Dr. Snellgrove, would you say certain people are more prone to having eating disorders?
Most definitely. And eating disorders is definitely a weighty subject, and yes, the pun's intended. Definitely more common in females. Males can have eating disorders. A lot of times it's not detected, and for the most part it's not nearly as common. Young girls with ADD or ADHD, they can have an eating disorder. Post-traumatic stress syndrome. Any type of psychological mood disorder in a male or a female can predispose you to an eating disorder. Foster children have been, and several studies have been shown to have an increased frequency of eating disorders in people, children who were raised in their normal homes with their parents.
And a lot of people might not have sympathy for some of these people who are more prone to some of these eating disorders. And let's talk about if someone does have an eating disorder or knows someone who they think may have a disorder, how important is it for them to get help?
An eating disorder can be fatal. I mean, just because you're losing weight and you think you look good doesn't mean you're healthy. And I'm talking about eating disorders right now where people don't want to eat. They think they're not thin enough. They never think they're thin enough. So they either eat less and less because they think their image is too fat, even though they're anorexic.
Right.
Or they're bulimic, you know, they will binge eat or binge and purge, make themselves throw up. And it's interesting, if you suspect someone may have an eating disorder, especially somebody that purges, that makes themselves throw up after they've eaten, look at their hands. You can tell if they're right-handed or left-handed, because if they do it frequently enough, what they will have on their knuckles is little scars and abrasions where they're sticking their fingers down their mouth and they're rubbing them against their teeth. So just shake their hand and feel those knuckles, and if they're a little abraded on one hand, not both, and they're very, very skinny and you're suspecting it, most likely they have bulimia. The eating disorders can cause many problems. They can cause GI problems. They can cause diarrhea, constipation. They can cause malnutrition. Mental disorders can worsen with the malnutrition. Cardiac diseases, they hit the eating disorders very hard. I had a patient years ago who would come to the office, and she would sew lead weights into the bottom of her dress so she'd weigh more when she got on the scales. We literally had to make her disrobe and put on a gown before she weighed. I found out later, and this was several years ago, found out later she had gotten down to 70 pounds and ended up in the hospital in the ICU and ended up dying of malnutrition and heart disease. So it can be fatal. It's not something you just want to overlook or bypass. If you think a friend or loved one has an eating disorder, definitely, if you don't talk to them and encourage them to talk to their healthcare provider.
Well, Eastern Shore Weight Loss is all about helping people lose weight the healthy way, but you also mentioned you have patients like this. So what can you guys do for people with eating disorders at Eastern Shore Weight Loss?
Well, we mostly obviously concentrate on the eating disorders where people are overeating, compulsive eaters, binge eaters, what I like to call my boredom eaters. They go home at night, they work all day, they don't eat that much during the day, they may even eat very healthy during the day, and they get home at night and they turn the TV on because they're most likely not exercising, and they sit down and they get bored. Watch a little TV, get bored. You find yourself back and forth to the refrigerator all night long because you don't have anything else to do. We try to change lifestyles. We try to help them with medications. We give them meal plans. We sit down with them and give them behavior modification tips on things that they can do every day in their life to change that eating habit, completely turn it around so they can start to lose weight to a healthy weight.
Right.
You don't want to overshoot the mark, and I've had people come in to the program before that obviously did not need to lose weight and want to go on the program, and I just flat look at them and go, you're healthy where you are, don't do it. We turn people down quite often because I just don't feel they need to lose any more weight. They're at a healthy weight.
Well, if you or someone you know you think has an eating disorder, like we mentioned, the most important thing is to get some help. And Dr. Snellgrove and his friends at Eastern Shore Weight Loss can help people through some of these problems. All their contact information is on our website. Dr. Snellgrove, thank you so much.
Thank you.